Welcome, everyone. Welcome back. Appreciate everyone being here. Those who are just joining us, this is our Elephant Show. This is my co-host Jesse Stanton is not here yet. However, he will be here just a little bit later on. Thank you for those who are just joining right now. Just to let you guys know, we are streaming from Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. From my Facebook, the Creative Finance Facebook. Guys, if you haven't joined the Elephant Challenge yet, please do so. We do got a special guest on for today. I just want to throw that out there. He's an amazing individual. I made thousands and thousands of dollars with him. Phenomenal individual. He's just now getting into the Elephant Challenge, and I wanted him to share some of his success that he's having with it, and some of the cons that he's actually overcoming right now. And I think it's gonna be a phenomenal show today. And I just saw on Instagram the comment that was just made. Yes, please go to our new YouTube channel. It's the Elephant Show with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. And it's going to be a phenomenal show, guys. Thank you for being with us. So with further ado, I do want to start this off and just talk about just initially, Pace. Pace and Carly, put this on for us. Pace and Carly been doing a phenomenal job. And I do want to say specifically, I want to start off with questions or concerns that you guys may have. I know Pace literally specifically went through a lot of different things over the last couple of days, and it could be like drinking from a fire hole. So I do want to touch on that initially. If you guys got any questions, concerns that maybe need a little bit more clarity that we can go over in regards to what that looks like, and then we can take that and spotlight you and see exactly what the next steps to see get you across that obstacle that you may have. And those who are still having troubles, making that first call, talking to an agent or whatever that may look like, we're here for you. You're around the community. There's about 60,000 people that's in the Creative Finance group, and there's about 5,000 to 6,000 of us that's in a sub-2 mentorship. We're here to help you. Be surrounded by a community, and I promise you, there's nothing but greatness going to happen for you. So I do want to bring on stage. His name is Mike Diaz. Again, I work with him. Phenomenal individual, young individual at that. He's only 21, and he's killing it in the real estate game as a wholesaler at that. A wholesaler. A lot of people think that you really can't do a lot, or just get into real estate not knowing everything. You don't have to know about novations. You don't have to know about just doing a burst strategy. Everyone thinks that you have to buy it the traditional way, but no, he took it, ran with it, and excelled. And Mike Diaz, and again, we made tons of money together. And he's just now getting to the Elephant Challenge. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for everyone to, meet Mike Diaz, work with him, squat up, and not just that, share his origin, where, how he got into real estate and what the next steps is within this Elephant Challenge. So with further ado, I do want to bring on Mike Diaz.
Chris, what's going on, man? Happy to be on here.
What's going on, Mike? How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday as well.
Great. So Mike Diaz, phenomenal individual, young individual, killing in the wholesale game. I think he's making about six, seven figures, just wholesaling, nothing else. He's got a strategic plan of action that he does with his crew. He's got so many things in place as far as VAs and all that good stuff. And I think this is a great, I wouldn't say pivot. A lot of people get shiny object syndrome where, just wholesaling, but you can still wholesale and market it. And this is the point that Pace is trying to make. He's trying to get everyone their first deal, right? And initially, something that resonated with me a little bit when I got into real estate, I didn't know how to get my first deal. I joined so many different mentorships. I started with Cody Spurbert, actually. Cody Spurbert was my first mentorship. And then I joined Alex Martinez over in California for pro wholesaling, which that was specifically done on marketing. Then I joined Pace. And ever since I personally joined Pace, my business skyrocketed. Not just one. I currently now have four businesses that's doing very well. And Mike, I want to talk a little bit about your success and how you got here. How did this all start for you?
Yeah, for sure. So whole thing was I wanted to get into real estate. Just knowing a lot of people became wealthy in real estate, so really just trying to decide on which way to go because of course in real estate there's so many assets to make money. It's really hard choosing one thing that's going to make you successful. So The first steps for me were like all I really knew at that point in time was, be a realtor or be an agent.
Right.
So I was taking classes to be an agent, and then like 3, 4 weeks in of me taking the test to do so, I came across a video of Max Maxwell, and he was
Mm.
talking about wholesaling. So I connected with that. I got familiar with it, just started learning about it, and that was really like just the start for me of just jumping into it and just becoming familiar with it.
Amazing, amazing. So let me ask you this. So did you just jump right in as far as the real estate and just start doing wholesaling, or did you have what you doing like Airbnbs? Like what was your mindset at the time?
Nah, not at all.
No.
So like that's all I really know was
Okay.
like wholesale into that point.
Okay.
So drive for dollars, look for distressed properties, the simple things that everybody will tell you. So I started driving around my neighborhood looking for distressed properties. And, me and you, I live in New York City. So properties are very expensive, one of the most expensive markets out there. So I was doing that for a couple weeks, kind of got discouraged after, trying to reach out, trying to call the owners, wrong numbers, etc. So I landed in, this mentorship, astro flipping with Jamil. So that was really the start for me, having a mentor, learning
Mhm.
the basics from A to Z, and just
Right.
really learning what to do.
I think that's amazing. I think that's phenomenal. And a lot of people during that time, not just that during that time, specifically, they get the syndrome of just analysis paralysis. They want to, take up so much content and they want to take up so much YouTube University, they call it these days, but you literally spend months and months trying to learn everything just to still be in the same spot in their life and or wonder why they're not succeeding. And one thing I really admire about you specifically and working like side by side with you and your wholesale journey and all that good stuff. One thing I really see that a lot of people don't have is the ambition and the motivation to just keep doing it. Just keep going, keep doing it, and literally just you're not going to stop until you achieve it. And I love that. A lot of people will face a lot of obstacles during their journey and just stop. But no, you literally figure out different pivots and get through those obstacles. And I love it. You love it because initially you got your dream, your goals, and your mindset is just everything in one is all aligned. And not a lot of people have that. And it kind of gears back to the mindset aspect of it. Going into real estate, you have to have the mindset aspect of it. If you don't, you be honest, you won't do well. You maybe get one or two deals, but you won't be successful whether you got a conveyor belt going in motion. And literally, as Sean Baker just said, 20 hours is go time. Take some kind of action, 100%. If that 20 hours is consistent on a daily basis, you can easily make 6, 7, 8 figures a month, long as it's consistent. Long as it's consistent, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Consistency, motivation comes hand in hand. If you're consistent, everything will start falling into place. If you're not consistent, you're going to be in the same position 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever that may look like. And I personally, I know me. I just know me. Like a few years ago, I know I'm not the same person. I'm just going to throw that out now. I am not the same person. I am not the same person 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, even yesterday. I kid you not. My mindset is totally different. I literally pick and choose who I want to be around. I don't have time to waste. Where I just don't have time. I'm doing myself a disservice if I'm wasting time with people who don't want to be successful. And I'm not saying that don't pick up the phone or anything like that. You're gonna have your family and friends that you communicate with, but the full transparency, my best friends is within the real estate industry. And people always ask, what about your family? Oh, well, what about them? I can't force them to do something they don't want to do. So, surround yourself with the right people and everything will work itself out. And one thing about Mike, as Mike mentioned himself, he lives in New York City. He's successful at wholesaling, and a lot of people think even virtually wholesaling is impossible. And you personally wholesale virtually. How is that going for you?
Well, I mean, of course, when you're first getting started out, it's really a lot of trial and error. But, just as you go through it, getting your reps in and really understanding the market that you're marketing in. So
Mhm.
I currently started in Pittsburgh, so that's where I virtually wholesale, and it's really understanding different streets because there's a lot of areas where um, the house will need more repairs than it's worth, or they owe more liens than it's worth. So it's really understanding the areas, understanding your buyers, and really just understanding the overall aspect of the market and having boots on the ground that can help you. It'd probably be the best way to go.
Got it. 100%. And that revolves back to the community. Really, the community. There's literally a flip going on right now, guys, that Jesse and I and Colin, our other business partner, we're going to make 6 figures on that. And I have not seen the property in person. I literally haven't stepped foot in the property, but virtually got done. And if I didn't have the people that's around me to be those boots on the ground, to get those individuals into the house, to get those measurements or the scope of work done, then yes, I would not be able to virtually wholesale or virtually take down a fix to flip or virtually do a novation. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. If you run the right people, you can basically do anything. I have personally successfully closed over 14 states now. To this day, 14 states virtually. 14. And once you do it the first couple of times, it becomes second nature. And Facebook Live, yes, is this live? 100%. This is live. I wish I can see your name. It just says is Facebook user. But yes, 100% you can wholesale virtually. You can do it all 50 states. And those who say you can't wholesale in all 50 states, you just need to speak to someone a little bit more experienced and work with them. Just squad up and see how you guys can get those to the finish line. So I want to talk about Mike just initially. I know you're great at the wholesale aspect, and what made you want to get into like the elephant challenge? I know you're a little bit greener on the elephant side of things, but what is making you get into the elephant challenge, and what was the process that was going through your head during that time?
Well, just to be honest with you, just the way the market is right now and just a lot of stuff changing, a lot of people can see for themselves. A lot of properties are sitting on the market due to the interest rate hike. So I feel like it's a great opportunity definitely to do some realtor outreach or, just call some listings that have been on the market for some time now and
Absolutely.
try to see if you can help the seller or help the agent with some other options other than a cash offer or, numerous other ways you can buy properties.
Amazing. And how is that going for you overall? Like, are you facing like obstacles? Are you facing? I know it's a little bit newer to you, but are you facing obstacles, or is it like a breeze? Like, what does that look like?
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't been doing it for long. So I started sometime last week, but I think I have to put some system in place because number one thing is agents are really bad at answering the phone. So what I've learned so far is send them a text first, wait for the response kind of thing. So that's really kind of my approach now. But yeah, that's really the biggest obstacle. And what my approach was coming in and try to pitch a creative offer. So the thing right now is overcoming some objections, explaining to the realtor how you can help both parties and help the seller in the best way. So it's really just learning, just doing the reps and just be consistent with it because of course you're not gonna get a deal on your first call. So it's just keep calling, staying consistent with it.
Absolutely. And consistency is key. And I'm glad you don't mention it. Every no, you're closer to a yes. And please, when I say that, I'm 100%, I mean that. Because you're going to get 1,000 no's before you get that first yes. And that first yes is going to be a life-changing yes. Whether you're making $10,000 or $100,000. And my first check ever was about $8,500, right? And living in New York, you can't live off that, right? So I really can't settle on $8,500 for one check, let alone being an attorney state, right? And attorney states, it take a little bit longer to close transaction. It's not like we don't have title companies. We have only specifically attorneys, attorney for the seller side, attorney for the buyer side. And a lot of people don't know that it takes sometimes a minimum on an average 30 to 45 days minimum. My last transaction was a $22,000 assignment, right? And literally that took 7 months. 7 months. That's why it's always key to be consistent and have that conveyor belt. because you never know. Sometimes a no could become a yes from that same person. The challenge is for the elephant challenge, those who are just joining, you submit those 5 offers. If you want to submit 10 offers. And you just never know. I personally, when I'm having those conversations, I look for the no. I want them to see that I want to see like the offer that I made, one, makes sense, and two, go so low is so uncomfortable. People don't understand that. I just don't make offers for the hell of it, but I really make an offer, especially on the wholesaling side of things. It's so low, it's uncomfortable. And a lot of people think if somebody tell me, okay, Chris, like I have an underwriter that's on my that's in our business as well. If he tell me, Chris, the numbers need to be at $200,000, I'm going for 180. I'm going for 180. And don't get me wrong, and that's on the wholesale side of things. And always but that's the last thing I think about, right? The first thing I always think about when initially having a conversation with a seller is how I can really solve their problem. I never go in and see how much I can make. If you have that mentality, how much I'm going to make off this property or asset or whatever you're looking to, wholesale or whatever it look like, you're never going to get far. You're never going to get far. And I really want people to understand, like, the seller comes first. And a lot of agents out there don't understand that the seller comes first. Some agents out there just for a commission. And a commission, great, right? They can make a great commission off it, but at the same time, how are we really going to solve your seller or client's problem? And it's been on the market for about 60, 70 days. So that brings it back where, initially community. Our first go-to is always cash offers, right? We always want to do cash offers, cash, and then, creative less. If the cash offer doesn't work, then have that next conversation with the agent. Say, hey, can I hop on the phone with you and the seller and have a conversation to understand the full picture? And I guarantee you, sometimes they may say no, but you will finally get a yes if they really want to get this to the finish line. And that brings it back to where just squat up. Just always squat up and make sure you're surrounded by the right people. If you're surrounded by the wrong people, you're not going to go far. You're going to go somewhere, but you're not going to go far as you need to. Let's see. So Facebook user, sorry, I don't know who you are. This is interesting because as a buyer, I'm looking for creative. Perfect. Perfect. So it's essentially a lot of people are looking for creative. Sometimes their mindset, if you're a buyer, this is a perfect example. You have specifics that you're going to go after. If you're a buyer, you're going to go in creative. I get it. I totally get it. Me personally too. I'm the same way. If I'm having a conversation with an agent, if this is a property I specifically want for Airbnb, I'm mentally going creative. No ifs, ands, buts about it, especially where this market is going. But if you're a wholesaler, looking to literally just wholesale, go cash first. Go cash first. Peggy Stevens. What's going on, Peggy Stevens? Sorry, I'm not for sure why it says Facebook user. But yes, it's a perfect example. If you're a buyer, you have your different qualifications and specifics you want to go to. And another question I think Peggy has, or statement: if a wholesaler brings cash, can I ask negotiate for 100%? 100%. If this 100%, if you understand the seller's full situation. Like if the wholesaler brings you a cash offer for 160 and the mortgage is 155, maybe there's another conversation that needs to be had. So maybe the seller wants to walk away at a certain amount. Maybe that was a bad example, but what I'm guaranteeing, you just gotta understand the full picture before that happens. There's a lot of people that bring us deals all the time, and literally we tell them specifically like, hey, is there a creative option we do? We're working on right now a 20 unit. We're working on it right now, a 20 unit over in Florida, right? And it was initially a cash offer. Now we're talking to the agent and on the phone with the seller that now is being turned into a seller finance option. And I just want to throw this out there, guys, because a lot of people don't know this, but if someone who's selling multi-unit, especially at least 8 or 10 more, they don't need the money. They do not need the money. So I do want to pinpoint that out. They're open. There's the ones that they're open to creative finance, and which is phenomenal. A lot of people think, oh, they just want $4.5 million. They want 6.4. They want 6.1. No, they don't. No, it just, you got to find out the real situation. And 9 times out of 10, I haven't been wrong yet. I'm just throwing that out there. I haven't been wrong yet, and I want somebody to prove me wrong of that one. But anyone that's got that many units, they don't need all the cash. I guarantee it. There's many ways you can do that. And not just that, just reach out to one of us. We can help you structure that out with the seller, and that's not a problem. And the agent. We want to make sure the agent get paid too. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure everyone's happy and it's a win-win situation. And a lot of agents out there, if they don't have an open mind, that deal will never get across the finish line. And there's plenty of times I have a conversation with agents and I call them out on it. And I may be passive aggressive. They're being passive aggressive with me. Always mirror the conversation. I love mirroring. If you mirror the tonality, mirror the conversation, I guarantee you'll get further in life. If you're being a very passive individual and they're being aggressive, then you may have to get somebody else on the phone to have that conversation. And I'm not saying, go in and be an asshole or anything like that. I'm not sure if I can curse on here. I'm sorry about that. But I'm not saying go in there, be a jerk or anything like that. And it's just the fact of, sometimes you have to call an agent out. Sometimes just specifically tell them, say, hey, are you really trying to work in the best interest of your client? Okay, no worries. I'll give you a call back in the next 2 months when it's still in the market. Like it's really gonna hit them. Like you really don't want to be a jerk, but sometimes depending on who you're speaking to, you have to just mirror the tonality. Mom's home is paid off. I want to buy it and make it an Airbnb. She's worried about taxes and old school mindset. She will need to find another home in North Florida or Georgia. How do I move forward? Perfect. If it was me, I would see exactly how much she needs. And literally, the taxes part, that's the easy part, right? She's worried about the taxes. You can always negotiate taxes, depending on what state it is. You can always negotiate taxes. We negotiate taxes all the time. You can do a settlement amount. You can actually take over their taxes and structure in installments. There's so many different ways you can do it. But yes, if she's looking for another home and she's trying to use some of the proceeds from that specific house, you can actually do a 1031 exchange if she's open to that. And actually, you can actually literally do that subject to, and literally do a subject 1031 exchange on the subject too. So there's many different ways we can structure that. It look like we need a little bit more context behind this, but 100% want to help you on this. I think this Facebook, it says another Facebook user. I'm assuming it's Peggy. I'm sorry about that. Guys, you have to go on the Facebook on the top and then change it to allow Facebook to actually see your name. Let's see. Fee says, hey, what's going on, Fee? I do know this one. Pace called an agent last night on a challenge for a student cash deal, and Pace ended up creative structure. 100%. Perfect example right there. Perfect example. You just never know unless you specifically ask those questions of the full story. You have to know the full story. Me personally, when people send me deals all the time, they say, oh, Chris, would you buy this? I don't know. I really don't know if I would buy it. Am I a buyer? 1,000%. I'm buying nationally, but you can't send me a deal, say, hey, Chris, would you buy this at $250? Cash, and this market way is going? Probably not. Creatively, 100%. Let's get on the phone with the seller and work this out together. You're still going to get your fee. Let's just work it out together. This is Peggy. Okay, perfect. Let's see. You can negotiate taxes. Very interesting. Need to explore. 100%. You can negotiate anything. You can negotiate anything. We've been through it all. Like when I say going into this mentorship and just being around the right people, negotiating anything is like our expertise now. Literally, I kid you not, we negotiate a lot of different things. We negotiate. I can go down the list. Even we're negotiating a water lien recently over in New York. We negotiate a HOA over in Alaska. There's so many different things you can negotiate because initially, like at the end of the day, it's really not your fault that you got in that situation. Sometimes you can let the seller know, like, hey, we'll take on that burden. We actually, you don't have to tell them that you're going to negotiate. Then let's just give you a flat number, $20,000. The seller's in arrears and the tax is $20,000, right? Two things, they're probably going to lose the house. And two, could you just pay the $20,000 off and be done with it? 100%. But why would you want to do that? Call the specific county, have a conversation with them about the taxes that let them know you're potentially going to buy the property. What do you need to do to get this settled? Sometimes they'll give you a settlement amount. The perfect example is 44,000. The gentleman over in Rochester, New York, $44,000 on taxes he owed. Taxes. Had one conversation with the county, got it down all the way down to literally 85. I think it was 85 or 8,900 bucks, whatever it was that they just needed to catch up. Well, it was $44,000. So that's literally something right there. That's just knocking out your entry fee. That's amazing, right? It's phenomenal. You said you guys have to pay all that money up front. I'm looking. Let's see. I'm looking for qualified buyers in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm using Privy. Guys, if you're not using Privy, please sign up with Privy. Make sure you use Pace's link to get the discount. Yes, there's qualified buyers all over. Definitely squat up. I look like Peggy squatting up in the side chat. Amazing job, Peggy. This is an action taker here. Please work with Peggy. Let's see what we have here. I have a challenge for this month. I want to bring a deal to Chris, Jesse, and Mike, trying to figure out if there's a favorite market and criteria I should focus on finding. So everyone have different qualifications. I personally like markets that Mike may not like, Jesse may not like, Colin. It's just something we have different specific. I love Florida. I'm just going to throw it out there. I love Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, Arizona. I love those four, right? And then, of course, I got my secondaries, Alaska, North Carolina, all those good states. But my go-to is Florida, Texas, Arizona. I do not, for transparency, I don't like New York. I live in New York. I don't like New York. I don't like California. But I do hella deals in California. So it's just, it really is not, as you guys know, not North Carolina, but New York and California, they're not really a landlord-friendly state. They're more geared towards tenant-friendlies. So that's the reason. But 100%, I believe this is Peggy again. You should focus on whatever. Let's focus on a motivated seller. Let's say that, a motivated seller. Let's focus on a motivated seller. And then once you find a motivated seller, let's hop on a call and let's get that to the finish line. If you want, bring that call to here. We have to, like, you find one this week, let's bring it back next week on this Zoom or this live stream. Let's call it live. And let's talk it out live and see how we get to the finish line. Some objections that we may encounter or whatever that may look like. Let's call it live. But 100%, I would love to work. I would love to work with everyone in here. And let's see. Could you share more details about negotiating with the HOA? 100%. Yeah. So HOAs, depending on the specific state and county, there's different rules and regulations. But it's they're all pretty similar. Just have a conversation with the right person. You can't just talk to a receptionist. You can't just talk to assistant or whatever that conversation may. You may have to go through 3 to 4 to 5 people before you get to the right person on the phone. There's a HOA in Alaska right now. This is about $6,500 that right now. Do we really need to negotiate it? No, not at all. But there is a settlement amount that we're still waiting on. We talked to the person that's in charge, and Melinda specifically said, give me a few days. Let me get you over the exact dollar amount that not just her team, but the actual HOA association, I guess is a board of directors or all the different people that's involved over in Alaska. They have to get together, have that conversation. And then she gave me like a 75% chance that it will work, like a settlement amount. Whatever that amount is going to be, I don't know. But if you ever want to talk about negotiating, or if you want us to negotiate one of your liens or whatever that may be, just give us a call. Let's have that conversation. And will it always work out? No. But if you talk to the right person, it will. It will. Absolutely. I have a property under contract in New Jersey. Has closed on November 16. Need and cash buyer. Anybody want to scout? Is this Peggy? Peggy, is this you? No, it's not Peggy. Guys, if Facebook users, if you go to the top of the Facebook page and make yourself, it's a setting you just got to change to make Facebook utilize your name. But New Jersey, to be honest, whoever this Facebook user, you got to get more context behind this. We can't find you a buyer unless we know more details. November 16th is around the corner. So I'm hoping title, or depending on what part of New Jersey, you got to use attorney. But if title's already pulled, Kay. Hey, Kay. Nice to meet you. So, Kay, if title's already pulled, then November 16th is no problem. But you got to give more details behind this for us to find you a cash buyer. We do have cash buyers in all 50 states that are still buying through this market. Although we're not cash buyers in certain markets, we still have cash buyers that we build a relationship with in all 50 states. And it took months to develop that relationship. And it's so many different things out there, and people got to understand. Thank you. Can we call 100%? Yeah, we can definitely call it live. But there's a lot of people that understand that literally there's so many different things out there, and don't limit yourself. I really want you guys not to limit yourself and what you're trying to do in life. I know I kind of deviated a little bit, but I'm seeing a lot of comments, and there's a lot of people that's in here, right? Which is amazing, but they're not taking action. They're not taking action. It's great to watch a show. It's great to watch a podcast. It's great to watch whatever it may look like. But if you don't take action, you're still going to be the same individual a year from now, still doing the same thing. And I don't want that. I don't want that. Hence, my business, my company, Third Mind REI, we launched within the sub 2 community. No sub 2 student left behind. We wanted to get all 6,000 people their first deal, no matter what that looked like. Whether that's a lending opportunity, whether that's a gator opportunity, whether that's partnering or whatever that may look like. But there's so many different avenues in real estate, and we wanted to launch this business to make sure, one, you had a resource, and two, you're not alone. And literally, this community, you're nowhere near alone. You're nowhere near alone. Other communities, I can't name one community out there that's the same as what we have right here. And I just wanted to pinpoint out. But yes, this is live. Nice to meet you as well. It's a turnkey rental. Yeah, still need more information, unfortunately. Let's see. Details about the New Jersey. Can you hook me up with a cash buyer? Illinois, how do I resource? Can you hook me up with a cash buyer in Illinois? How do I tap into your resource? I have a good lead. Perfect. So there's many ways to connect with us. Either shoot us a DM. I'm not for sure if you got again, Facebook user. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. If I have your number, just text me. But either shoot me a DM on Instagram, chris.jamesrei. That's on all social medias. Or actually, let me put in the website how you can submit leads or whatever that look like. There you go. So I'll just put it in there. It should go to all databases. And then let's see. I'm doing an agent outreach, and all I have access is privy. I have no context to be able to send if a realtor asks me to submit an offer. How would I move forward? Can I reach out to you guys? 100% you can reach out to us. 100%. And you do have contacts. You have all of us. And why are you not in Discord? I wish I knew who this was. Get it in Discord. Let me find the link. Let me see. Yeah, if you guys don't, please sign up for the Elephant Challenge or reach out to Carly. Carly has the link to get you in the Discord, and there's thousands of people in there who can actually help you. And or if you want to reach out to us individually, myself, Mike, Jesse, whoever it may be, can definitely assist you, whatever that may look like. But don't say you don't have contacts. You do. You have all of us. If you need a proof of funds, whatever that may look like, we have it right here in our phones. We have it, whatever that may look like. Yeah, you're not alone here. How to change your name visible? Carly McGee, you're freaking amazing. You're freaking amazing. Carly McGee, here's how to change your name visible on Facebook. Please follow those directions, guys. Please follow that direction. Can you go over a typical objection and how to address this on subject? I'm doing sell, close, seller. Yeah, absolutely. So credit concerns, right? If they asked about credit concerns or the do on sell clause or anything like that, you didn't establish enough credibility. The only time they ask me, Mike, Jesse, or whoever they communicate with in our business and the people I'm around, if they're asking about that, we did not build enough credibility at all. If they want to see my website, I'm going to ask them specifically, like I would say why, like, hey, why do you need me to say why? So I would just say, hey, is there something that wasn't clear on your end that I maybe need to clear up, or state a different way? There's a lot of different ways you can approach it, but it's been a long time since someone asked me for a website. A long time since a website, any credit, and or if they said they want to do like some kind of collateral, they don't trust you. There's something that you're not portraying that they like. And I don't know why, but that's just the way people think, right? Especially when you're talking to new savvy investors. If you're talking to a savvy investor, the 20 unit that we're talking to in Florida, extremely savvy, extremely savvy. And he didn't ask us once for our website. He didn't ask us for our credit. He didn't ask us about doing sell clause. He knew that we're business professionals that's looking to get the job done. We're not here to BS you. We're not just another typical wholesaler that's going to disappear after a day of a conversation. No, we're going to do constant follow up. We're going to get the information, we're at the financials, and see exactly the next steps. And we take it a step farther where we hop on not just a phone call, we're going to hop on a Zoom. We want you to get to know us. We want you to see our faces, know who you're dealing with, and see how we can proceed. And not a lot of people won't do that. And a lot of people really would just, especially with higher level conversations, you need to get face to face some kind of way. If you're not local, you need to hop on a Zoom. A lot of people just text. Don't text. Can you text to get the job done? 100%. I've done it. But if you're talking to someone extremely savvy, you make time to meet them. Let them know you're going to stand out. They may get 100 offers, but I guarantee you stand out because you actually took the time to meet them. Majority, even when their calls doesn't work, my last Zoom that I had with myself, Jesse, Cullen, and it was an agent, our other two acquisition managers, Anna and Maj, all hopped on a Zoom. Did we seal the deal? Not at all. But the seller became our private money lender. So that was a big change in regards to a lot of different things. A lot of people think like, okay, it's not a way we can work out with each other, but there's so many different opportunities out there. A lot of people don't understand that if you actually think about what you're trying to do here and see there's many different ways to work in real estate, you don't have to buy every property. All you have to do is find other means to either work with whoever that may look like. And sometimes, to be honest, it's so funny. John was on a few weeks ago. A listing agent became one of our property manager because she was venting to us about how one of her other guys are literally not paying her back. And literally we followed up, and it's always about timing, right? We didn't want to say, oh, why is it not doing this, and this? But no, we actually followed up about a few weeks later and then had that conversation. Now she wants to live with us. It's those kind of conversations you really got to take initiative and understand that every deal you're not going to buy, but you may build a relationship and open another door. And that's another opportunity that's going to go through a lot more different doors. So I just wanted to touch on that. And typical objections, people, yes, what is subject to? Is it illegal? Is it this? Is it that? We get it all the time. Even people who are at a high caliber sometimes say, oh, never heard about subject to. But to find out it was actually a different terminology. They heard it or whatever that may look like. But some of the objections, the number one is this illegal? Subject to is, I have to talk to my attorney. And then literally when they say they got to talk to their attorney, then literally specifically have that conversation with them in regards to like, hey, when would you like to hop on a call with your attorney and my attorney to have that conversation? That builds a little bit more credibility right there, where you want to hop on the phone with not just his attorney and our attorney. Now we're building the credibility where, okay, now he's really got to think about it. Do he want to pay for his attorney to have this conversation? Or do you need to find somebody else to get on that phone and have a conversation and build that credibility? And 9 times out of 10 is all it reverts back to credibility. And I know that was a longer answer than expected, but Rand, I hope that answered your question initially. Let's see. It's about creating a long-term relationship. 100%, Carly. 100%. Let's see. What are the common things that wholesalers or sub-to deals face when agents hold listings? But it's easy deal just snatch price out. So, this is a great question. So, Things that wholesalers face or sub to deals is the agent don't understand. And the thing I don't like is literally the telephone game. I don't like it. I don't want to have to talk to an agent to have to talk to the client for the client to tell the agent. It just so many things get miscommunicated, especially when it comes to sub two and creative finance. If you want to talk sub two creative finance, I'm not going to have a full conversation with the agent. I'm not. The agent doesn't have the full details of exactly what's going on with that specific individual. They're in reality they should have it, but 9 times out of 10 they don't have it because they're thinking about their pockets. They're really thinking about the pockets. So, and one way to approach that conversation is literally let them know, hey, is there any way we can talk to your client, or how all three of us hop on a phone call? We still want to make sure you get paid, but we want to understand the full picture. There's so many different ways you can attack that question. It all depends on who you're talking to. You will get some agents. I'm actually very, very close friends with agents out in Florida. Drew is amazing. He's actually a flip. He's a fix and flipper. He's a Airbnb guy. He also is an agent. He has the knowledge. So if I articulate something to him, I know for a fact it will get to the client. But everyone's not Drew. And Drew is actually someone we will be having on in a few weeks as well. So again, just look forward to that specifically. But if it's a deal, you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna make it happen. I just want to throw that out there. If there's a deal, you know it reminds the deal. You're gonna have those conversations. You're gonna let that agent know, like, hey, I really want to get this to the finish line, and I know part of your job is, to get this to the finish line for your client, and it doesn't give us, service here just for us to go bicker back and forth. But it's so many different conversations that you can have. 9 times out of 10, I promise you, just tell them flat out that if you mention their commission, I guarantee you they will get you on the phone with the seller. Say, literally, we're going to pay you your commission. We don't care about your commission. We just care about the full story of the seller. And I guarantee they probably set up the call. Oh, we can call the client now. 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you, oh, the client's busy. The client hired me for a reason. The client does this, this, and this. And then once you mention that commission, I guarantee you they'll switch up and get you on the phone with that specific client. But that's very common. And wholesalers is already given a bad rep, right? In all 50 states, no matter what state you're in, you're given a bad rep. It's just because wholesalers don't care as much as we do. And I'm a wholesaler 100%, but I care. I wholesale, I fix and flip, I do it all, right? And I want to understand the sellers. I think a true wholesaler goes in with the mindset, how much I'm going to be making before they talk to the seller. Versus an investor like Mike, he goes in and try to understand the seller's situation, and once he finds the problem, now it's his job to find a solution. And usually, if you go that route, you make the most money. And not even talk about the money. It's just that's the way to go. Deals don't work out from wholesalers because the only thing they care about is their pockets, and that's where wholesalers really, really start to lose their credibility. But I hope that answers your question, Facebook user. Let's see. Let's see. Jeff, thanks for taking the time to do this, guys. I'm interested in what you do in this scenario. I recently had a condemned property in Texas under contract for $42,000, and the owner agreed to carry the note at 8% interest only for 6 months with an $8K down. I was trying to do BRRRR to the property. The contracted bids came in 96. Oh, wow. With the ARV of 150 and $1,500 a month, the analyst of the dish showed to leave 24K in a deal, still a BRRRR instead of trying to money a pro. Jeff, what I would do, full transparency, I hate the BRRRR. I hate it with a passion. I will never do it. Probably in the future, but I just won't do it because there's so many creative opportunities out there. I don't think you need to do the BRRRR. Now, you can technically do the SIR, which is basically subject to. It's basically doing the same thing, but a little creatively. In this kind of situation, I will really look at what's not one but two different options. Anytime I buy something, I always want to make sure there's two different exit strategies, just in case option number one doesn't work out. It seems like I would need to know just a little bit more, but if the bid's coming at $96,000, I hope that's an average. because try to get 2 more bids. Usually I need 3 contractor bids before I even pursue a property. But $96,000, that seems pretty hefty. And the 8K down, I think that's fine. However, the 8% interest only for 6 months. Great. Is this deferred payments? What does that look like? I would need to know more information. If it was me, especially in this property that needs more work, and especially if it's condemned, 1,000%, they will be getting a dime on that monthly payment. It'd be deferred for not just 6 months, probably like 12 months until the property is done. Then they get the rest of their equity out, whatever that may look like. So I hope that answered your question. And Jeff, yeah, let's have a conversation offline about that. See how we can get on the phone with that seller and restructure that. Let's see. It's about creating long-term relationships. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Carly McGee, if you want to make a buttload of money, have a mindset how can I provide a buttload of value first? I love that. Guys, if you're not squatting up with Carly, this is a perfect person to squat up with, because her not just her mindset, but you can tell exactly the type of person she is. And look at what she's trying to attract. And I love that. People understand, like, you have to attract what you want. You have to attract what you want. If you're going to, I hate to say this like this, but if you're going to, we had a conversation, us and our business partners, a couple of weeks ago. And someone mentioned the word cheap. And our business, we don't attract no one cheap. And that's not where, so we're not going to put anything out there cheap. We're not going to brand ourselves as cheap. And people don't understand that, like, everything that you do is being interviewed. Anything, when you literally walk into a room, you get on a podcast, you get on the phone, always think about, you're always being interviewed. So just think about that. Carly, you're amazing. How do you guys deal with homeowners going ghost? One, did they really want to sell? 2, did you build the credibility? And 3, do you have a memorandum on the property? If they're ghost, the funny part about it, right? I've been in the industry for going on 2.5, well, it's not 3 years now. I think it's 2.5. But literally, I think I only filed 1 memorandum on the property because my credibility was good. Because if you're really trying to solve their situation, they're not going to ghost you. Even if people come in at higher offers. I had sellers tell me, testimonials tell me, literally, someone came in literally $14,000, $15,000 above my offer as a cash offer. And they still went with me because they knew I was going to get the job done. Now, if they're ghosting you, Chris, there's many ways you can go about that. You can send like a demand letter. I'm not for sure what city or state you're in, but you can send a demand letter. If it's squatted with a sub 2 student, and we can get that demand letter over to that individual. Have I ever used a demand letter? No, not at all. Have I filed a memorandum? Yes. I filed one recently, literally in Hollywood, Florida. I'm sorry, not Hollywood, Holiday, Florida. And literally, the seller, he did a full renovation on the property. He was trying to get literally $110,000 more. But unfortunately, we clouded title. So when he does try to sell that property, they need to pay, unfortunately, myself out. I got to get paid first. It is what it is, right? But that's a good question, Chris. Guys, I'm new. Sub 2 Gator here. Guys, squad up with Carly. Squad up with Carly. I see Reginald, like you have a question. I'm about to bring you up. Hey, what's going on, Reginald?
I'm not sure what I did. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I did. I didn't question. I'm enjoying the meeting here. I did have some a couple of positives though a week.
You're not sure it's me, but your mic is bad right now. Yeah, try to fix that first, and we're gonna bring you back up, okay? Was it just me, Mike, or was it you hearing that too?
It was the same on my end as well.
Okay, Perfect. Facebook user, hello. I'm a new Gator. Gator would love to connect. I'm on the West Coast. Let's squad up. Well, Facebook user, we'll start with changing your name. Nice to meet you guys. Guys, if you have any other questions, concerns, anything like that, and I do want to touch on. I know Facebook algorithm is kind of crazy. I know we post a lot in Facebook, but I do want to touch on specifically who has questions about anything that Pace mentioned or Carly and some of the other leaders in the community that mentioned the last couple of weeks. I know it was a lot that happened over the last 3 to 4 days, a lot. And Pace can throw so much at you where you have to either take action and do it and create the chaos, or you may get lost. You may get lost because he's not going to stop. He's going to continue to go. We've been doing it for 2.5 months, if not 3 months now. And this is an ongoing thing. So I love to, hear anybody's feedback about what's been going on, and or if you got any questions that I can answer right now for you. Or maybe if you guys got questions for Mike. Mike, I totally forgot to ask you, man. How can they get in touch with you?
You guys can definitely hit me up on Instagram at Mike Diaz Official. I'll even put my phone number in here if that would work as well.
You're gonna give the phone number out? Amazing. Guys, I see you squatted up in the comments. I do see that. Phenomenal job. And not just that, guys, please let me know like who you like to see on here. We're gonna get Carly on here one day. We're also gonna try to get Pace on his, get on it for like 5 to 10 minutes on his busy schedule to have a conversation with you guys. And we definitely appreciate it. We love doing this on a week basis. Those who are just now joining, not Pace, but Jesse, he's at one of our fix and flips right now. We're potentially going to be making this is going to be a triple digit flip. So that's why he had to get some of the materials and take it to the contractor and all that good stuff. So we're working out all that good stuff. And he's there, so that's why he's not here today. So I thought he was going to be able to join, but unfortunately he couldn't. But he definitely misses you guys, and you guys know his energy is always there. I think I skipped over this one. I do see this one. Let's see. Regina. Okay, Chris, I have a Facebook. Well, for Facebook for somebody owner that I'm not called yet. So. The thing is about within our business, right? For sell-by owners, I truly want you to understand. For sell-by owners, part of our business, we won't never call the lead unless you talk to them first. And I can speak, to be honest, I could probably speak to every accountability leader. I can speak for Pace. I can speak for a lot of people, like 95% of the sub-2 students. If you have not even initiated the call, there's no point for us to do it. You're not going to learn by for us doing it. Like what I love to 100%. Like Mike and I, we're on the phones every single day. But you have to take initiative first and have that conversation. And again, I'm not trying to speak at you. I'm just speaking through you so everyone knows that in general for sell by owners, just have that first initial conversation. That is it. Whether that's gathering information, whatever that may look like, even if you F up, we want you to. I guarantee we're good at recovering it. I promise you that. We can recover almost anything in the book, and it's pretty neat that all the different things we recover from other, people from the creative finance group, which is totally fine. And also just, okay, good, perfect. You say you'll do it. Yeah, definitely reach out. We can definitely have that conversation. Either myself, Mike, we can definitely hop on the phone, or we can all hop back on the live or go live in the Facebook group and have that conversation live. And I think that'd be pretty phenomenal. Let's see. Please explain how to squat up and what is a gator? Rand. I'm assuming your name is Randy or Rando, but Rand. How to squat up? You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. You're in the right place at the right time. Literally put your information out there. Add value. Have a conversation with Chris. Have a conversation with Jeff. Have a conversation with Carly. Reach out to them and say, hey, how can we work together? What value? And think about what value you can bring. What value can you bring? So those who don't know, literally a gator, this is something that's new within the real estate industry that Pace created and invented. So basically a gator lender is someone who has a small amount of money, may have large, but usually it's like sponsoring, I call it EMD. earnest money deposit. So if you don't have $1,000 or $5,000 to put into EMD because you're selling these that, reach out to a sub 2 student, reach out to a gator who has that money literally on the side ready for it to lend on, and they can put your EMD up for you. If you need $1,000, no problem. Find a gator, say I need $1,000, but at the same time, go in with the intention that you guys are going to work together, meaning like that gator who you borrow from going to need some kind of return, and that's up to their discretion how much that looks like. So I hope that answer your question. And I see you're new, but yeah, squatting up, man, literally just squat up. Promise you, to put your number out there, put your information, hop on calls, Zooms. Literally, our other business partners, I kid you not, we spend 30 to 40 hours a week on Zooms, squatting up with people like yourself, providing value, wanting to get to know their business. How can we plug the bottlenecks that you have? We have literally so much opportunity out there, so many avenues you can go. It's phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. And that's the biggest problem. That is the number one problem and challenge within real estate. How do you get started? There's so many different avenues. I can't answer that question, right? There's so many ways you can make money in real estate, which is phenomenal. And if you're not in real estate, I think you should jump in, and it's never too late. Like my guy here, 21 years old. 21 years old. I wish I would have gotten real estate at 21 years old. Super successful at what he does. Super. And I'm very fortunate enough and humbled enough to know him and call him he's one of my good friends. He's one of my accountability leaders. Well, partners, leaders, business partners, everything. And I can't call everyone that, to be honest. It's just about literally 5 of us that I can call, a friend, accountability, board of director, I should say. And if you don't have those in your life, you're going to stay in the same position. You're not going to scale in the right direction. You're not going to go achieve what you're looking to achieve, because you can have a lot of goals in life. But you can't achieve them unless you're in a community or you set those tasks or objectives or whatever that may look like to get there. Good. Perfect. Mike and Chris, can I get a number to reach you guys? Absolutely. Reach out to us on Instagram, Chris.JamesREI, or you can reach out to Mike on his Instagram right there, Mike Diaz Official, and then we'll give you our phone numbers. We can't give it out to everyone. We don't know who's we could when we start, putting that connection. But yes, 100%, we can give you reach out to one of us on our Instagram, and we'll have that conversation. Facebook user, absolutely, anytime. That's what we're here for. Jeff, I joined the Elephant Challenge and learned a bunch. Drinking out of fire hose, 100%. I think we all, that's one thing. Challenge, especially joining a challenge, joining the community, you're gonna learn so much. Got the price on the mentorship in a while. Sure, I get an investment back in time. Curious on how much time over it needs to be invested to return it. So this all depends, right? Because literally when I joined 2 other mentorships before I got into Pace's mentorship. And that's something that people always ask me, how much did you spend? And 3 different mentorships, I think combined I spend about 50, 60,000. And my return on my investment did not come back until Pace. I joined Pace's mentorship. I joined Pace's mentorship back in 2021, July of 2021. And May 4th. There it goes. May 4th of 2021. And July going to August, literally my business started skyrocketing. And a lot of people think you have to do it by yourself. No, I promise you, every single deal, and I have closed successfully real estate deals in 14 states so far. My mission is 50, but 14 states thus far. And I have yet, every single deal I did with someone. Every single deal I did with someone. And a lot of people understand, like, oh, no, I want to do it by myself. I want to, keep all the money, whatever that may looks like. But no, I'd rather split the money down the middle all day, any day, or whatever that split may look like, they get this deal across the finish line because I don't know. It's more like the who, not how principle. Built my entire business off of that. Entire business. And literally, that's something that really, really stick with us on a daily basis, because initially, do I know everything? No, not at all. Do Mike know everything? No, not at all. But we can always find the who does, and give them percentage of a deal and get it to the finish line together. So would you rather make rather make $100,000 or no nothing? I'd rather make $100,000 and split it all day. Why would I limit myself to that opportunity that was given? So when those kind of things happen, guys, I'm sorry, Jeff. To answer your initial question, your return on your ROI, which is return on investment, people get it back within a week. People get it back in months. But initially, literally, I kid you not, it all depends on the individual, the action taker that's inside you. If you're gonna stay consistent to make sure you get your ROI, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Full transparency, I never made so much money in my life. If I was still in the hospitality industry right now, I was making about, what was it, $72,000 a year, right? And I thought that was like it. I was living a dream. I was going to do this, and this, to find out $72,000 a year was nothing. It really wasn't nothing, right? Because initially, imagine making $72,000 of one assignment check. Imagine making $72,000 on a flip. Imagine making $72,000 on a lending opportunity. Passive income, Airbnb, whatever that may look like. And of course, $8,500 was my first check. And then from there, it was kind of all over the place. Then once I received an assignment one day, it was in Florida. It was Florida last year around November. I'm sorry, not November, September last year, of $29,000. Things start to really settle in. Like, this can actually happen. This can happen. Yes, I was going through the mentorship. I was going through all these different phases, but I stayed so damn consistent and literally every day approaching with intentional action. It got to me to where I'm today. My bank account never seen so much money, right? Like, which is amazing. But at the same time, you can get yourself there. You just can't let nobody get in your way. You cannot let no one get in your way. I don't care who you are. If they're a family member, they may have to get out your life. They may have to get out your life. Now, I'm not just saying like cut them off and then have them disappear, whatever it may be, but just surround yourself with individuals who you want to either attract and or learn from. There's a lot of people that's, billionaires I want to get close to. Millionaires I want to get close to. And they're literally, the full transparency, they're in our community. They're in our community. And once you get around those individuals, everything else is start to come together. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Sean Baker, I'm going 7 months and still working on my first deal. Well, Sean, let me ask you why. Why is that? Are you consistent? Actually, I want to invite you on here. I want to talk about that a little bit. Sean, you don't mind coming on here? Talk about that a little bit? Put you in the spotlight? Let me see. Let's talk about that. There we go. Sean, join that link right there. Again, guys, Sean, join the link. Not everyone. Not everyone. I don't want to. Perfect. Sean, join that link right there I just sent. I want to talk about it a little bit. Philip, absolutely. I'll do that right after. Let's see. So I'm gonna wait till Sean joins, but let's see. Philip, can you? Yep, I absolutely will. Jason, I missed the elephant challenge, but I'll be ready for the next one. Yeah, man, 100%. Deep dive into it right now. And literally, let's see, Sean Big. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Let's do this for you. Not seeing it. Let's see. I'm gonna see the link right now. Sean, check your messenger. I just sent you the link, Sean, if you in your messenger. So while Sean's doing that, guys, we're waiting for Sean to come in. I want to deep dive into what that really looks like. See if we can touch base on that. And I'm still a Facebook user. This is Peggy. Yes, you are still a Facebook user. Perfect. Sean joined. Okay, he made it. There you are. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing all right, and you?
Good. You on the road? I see you're always busy.
Always on the road.
How are things
That's
been,
part
man?
of it.
Let's talk about it. What's going on?
Oh, I mean, some of it's always I'm on the road all the time,
Okay.
so that's part of it. I'd have to say another big part, shiny object syndrome, a little bit. I'm
Okay.
kind of narrowing that down. I think a lot of it also would be the kind of game plan of how much action setting as consistent action.
Okay.
That
Got
kind
it.
of makes sense.
So so are you working on things in the elephant challenge, or are you working on something specific in your business, or what does that look like?
Everything. I mean, that's why I say it's I do a little bit of everything. That's why I'm kind of probably need to narrow it down more than and take off on one or two things and leave it at that.
I agree. You know, and I think you just said it right there. Once you figure out exactly what those one or two things are, I think that's literally the direction you need to go into. Now, is there's the elephant challenge something that you want to pursue, or is it something you're exploring?
I did it 2-3 months ago, the
Okay.
first or second one, and then I kind of said no. I'm gonna go do the Lonza method, and then because from
Okay.
cash flow purposes, and then more on the broker outreach because I can do broker outreach or something like that on the road for
Okay.
multifamily. But I think a lot of it too is trying to JV with somebody and finding where the value I can bring to the table is another hard one for me.
Is that so? Let me ask you this: what value can you bring to the table? What does that look like for you?
I'm not 100% sure. That's part of it.
Okay. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? So initially, I think
Right.
you're on the road a lot, you know. So I think you kind of said it right there. You can make a lot of phone calls for people. I don't want you to get in an accident because of us on this. I just want to throw that out there. So,
Right. Well, I mean, when I stop, I have 10, 15 minutes. I can do that.
So my recommendation, especially in this elephant challenge, I personally, if I was in your situation, always on the road, why not squat up with somebody who actually has the time to, like, if you're making those phone calls, and or actually, perfect example, Chris. I'm not for sure if you Chris with a K. He was on a couple weeks ago. He's actually in a position where he doesn't have time to make phone calls, but he literally sends over an email or some kind of text message with a list of properties, what the ARV and where it needs to be at. This may be a perfect opportunity to squat up with him or whoever it may be, where you can make those phone calls for those individuals and make those offers.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a perfect case scenario. So you don't have to actually look for the properties. Literally, you just get in a list, you get in the phone number and the offer. And I think that'd be great for you.
That can be done.
And so I think the next step is initially, I think you got to put yourself out there just a little bit more, like on Facebook, in regards to like, hey, I can who doesn't have time, and let them know specifically you can call and make those offers for them. because there's a lot of people, I guarantee, in the side check, I guarantee it. They don't have time to make it because either got a W-2, they're 9 to 5, where they can't get on the phone. But during their off time, they're creating a list for Sean. They're gonna email over Sean the next morning, and then during your breaks, whatever that may look like, you can just have a 2 to 3 minute conversation making offers. I think that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, that would work.
I think that'd be phenomenal. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna connect you with him. If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'd totally thank you for that.
Absolutely. I hope you got a little bit more clarity. But yeah, 7 months. Yeah. We gotta get you your deal, man. We gotta make that happen.
Yes, that's what I say. I try to figure out how value out there, then try to figure out like your first are all your deals, but like what are some of the things you've JV'd with people on?
Oh my God. That is a loaded question, sir. I did wholesale, traditional wholesale, creative wholesale from sub 2s, novations. I'm currently got a novation going on right now. TC, literally, what else? Note investing. Note investing is a little bit different. I'm not sure if you know what note investing is.
I do.
Gator lending. Literally, there's so many different ones I did. I lost count. That's actually a good question, actually. No one ever asked me that. That's a phenomenal question. I never, something to think about it. But literally, if you name it, I've done it, especially the JV side of things.
Yeah.
But that's a phenomenal question. We got a question in the comments, though. What market are you in, Sean?
Well, I live in Utah, but I'm primarily trying to do Utah, but I've got other properties or places I've been trying, like in Tennessee, Texas, Florida, Milwaukee area.
Okay. So you're able to do it nationally then?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got, and that might be part of the problem, is like I'm just trying to find that first deal, so open to anything and then stick it, but I should, like you said earlier, pinpoint it.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, just trying to pinpoint it. It's like Utah's probably my best market because I know the market because I live here. The other markets are all just trying to find something.
We have somebody in the comments that said Milwaukee, let's chat. Facebook user, can you please put your name in there so I know who to let Sean know to contact? And I wish, literally, we just closed a transaction yesterday from the Elephant Challenge. $10,000 we received, right? With Annie. Annie, I'm not for sure if she's in here or not sure. Rob, Annie and Rob. We just closed literally 2 days. Was it yesterday or day before? Day before. My days are getting mixed up. Sorry about it. We closed. Day before. It was pretty phenomenal. They were pretty excited. Got their first deal. Literally got their first deal, and they were super excited. It was through the Elephant Challenge. The one that says from Milwaukee, let's check, is Becky. Her name is Becky. She did put her phone number in the side chat. However, I know you're driving. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I can copy this and send it to you. I'm going to send it to you, okay? So you do have her information. Sweet. And just have a conversation, whatever that may look like. And I kind of want you to give us an update as far as where that left off. Like, whether it's going to work out or not kind of thing. But yeah, man, you have the time. Just make those phone calls and make it happen, man. You can definitely do it. But I appreciate you coming on, though. I definitely appreciate you coming on, and please don't get an accident. I don't want to be me the cause of that. Then I gotta explain this to Pace and Carly. But no, appreciate you having. You have a good one, okay?
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. So, guys. Phenomenal. I know we went over time today a little bit. No worries, but I think you guys had phenomenal questions. Mike, appreciate you having you on today. Appreciate you very much, man. I truly care about your well-being, you personally, business-wise, and all that good stuff. And guys, I just want to, before we go today, I just want to pinpoint out something very clear. When getting into joint venture partnerships or business partnerships, please understand it's not all about the money. it is not all about the money. Really understand that what makes a business really work, and this is from experience. I'm not just speaking because I'm speaking, but this is from experience of F-ups in the past of other business relationships, right? Understand exactly what your business partner really wants in life. Understand what they want personally and business. People just care about the business side of things, but no, I really care about the personal side of things as well, because sometimes the personal goals affect your business opportunities, and they clash sometimes if you don't have those conversations. And I just wanted to throw that out there. And please, guys, just don't never jump into a business relationship right away. If you meet somebody the first day, you may seem like it worked out the first day, but please do the dating phase. Please date whoever that person is for at least 3 to 6 months. And in real estate, that's the terminology we use for those who's probably going to comment like, dating, what do you mean? Now we got to date people before we go? But no, just literally date the person, whoever you want to be a business partner with, whatever that may look like for it, because you're going to know the ins and outs. You're going to know how they react when things don't go according to plan, or things where things are happy. Sometimes you really got to figure out exactly who you're dealing with. And but no, I know I kind of deviated a little bit. Mike, pleasure having you on here, man. Thank you again for jumping on and hopping on.
It, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Anytime, man. Anytime. And guys, if you want to reach out to Mike, his Instagram is right there, Mike Diaz Official. He's the only, I think it's one and only. I think it's one and only for the show. And guys, just to let you know, I'm the only Chris.James REI out there. There's someone that got a Chris.James REII. That is not me. Just, I didn't think I was that popular to even. I'm no one. I'm just like you guys. I'm just a no one. But Chris.James REI on all social media, not Chris.James REII. That's not me. But guys, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're going to upload every single everything we did in the last 2 to 3 months. And we're going to have it uploaded by next week. So it's probably about like 12 to 14 like videos on there specifically that cater around different things. And one thing I'm going to do is bring Ken on back and have him do a lot of underwriting and just literally spend an entire hour just underwriting every single deal or opportunity that you guys want to bring. And that's actually in a couple of our Zooms prior that he spent at least 2 or 3 hours on that. But that's going to be literally in the vault. Not the vault, I'm sorry, on the YouTube channel. Again, it's the Elephant Show with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. And go to subscribe, like it, and we'll have all the videos uploaded by next week. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you again. And until next time.